Yes, sir. What is going on, my friends? Here we are back again for another edition of some useful commercial real estate agent tips to help you if you are like me working in commercial real estate as an agent, or maybe you're considering working in commercial real estate, or maybe you work in residential real estate and you're thinking about making the switch over to commercial real estate. I'm making these videos to help you to learn what it takes to be successful, as I myself am learning what it takes to be successful as a commercial real estate agent. So in this particular video, I wanted to share with you the 9 questions to ask your commercial real estate agent when considering an investment property to purchase. Basically, this video is for maybe you're an investor or a buyer of commercial property and you are thinking about working with a commercial real estate agent as your buyer representation, which is a great decision to make because it doesn't cost you anything. There's no out-of-pocket cost to work with a commercial real estate agent to represent you as your buyer representative. Their fee is paid when that deal closes, and they split the commission with the listing agent on that property that you purchased. So if you are an investor or a buyer looking for a potential commercial real estate agent, or you're a commercial real estate agent and you just want to be more prepared for when you're working with buyers and investors, the types of questions that they'll be asking you. They'll probably be asking you these 9 questions, which I'll share with you. The number 1 question to ask your commercial real estate agent when considering an investment property to purchase is, do you work with buyers as a buyer's representative? Now, you'd be surprised how many commercial real estate agents actually prefer not to work with buyers, and they prefer only to work with sellers or landlords to list those properties, to market those properties, to find a potential buyer or find a potential tenant to fill that space. And they actually don't like working directly as a buyer's representative for a number of different reasons. And these are all reasons that I can empathize with because I've been in their position as a buyer's representative, working with buyers and investors, helping them to make a decision on a potential commercial real estate investment property. Such things as, well, you might do a lot of work and your client, the buyer, might end up not doing anything for all that work. They're under no obligation to purchase any sort of property, but they are working with you as their buyer's representative so that when they are ready to make a decision and purchase a piece of commercial real estate property, you will help them with that process, represent them in the negotiations, and make sure that that deal closes. However, it does take work. You are researching various properties. You are looking at different types of properties and matching that up with what your client is looking for in their purchase. And there's no guarantee of you actually getting paid for that work. The next question you want to ask your commercial real estate agent is, how much is the property worth? What value would this particular commercial real estate agent that you're working with, what price would they put on it? And does this match up to what that actual offer price is on that commercial property that you're looking to invest in? Your commercial real estate agent should have their own methods of determining what the right price would be for that property if it was their listing, and then they would be able to tell you how close that is to the actual offer price. The next question you want to ask your commercial real estate agent is, how much should I invest in order to meet my goals? Or in other words, how much should you pay? Again, they would have their own methods of calculating what would be a fair price where both parties get what they are seeking and that deal is closed. The next question you want to ask is, how does this property's value compare to other similar types of properties in the area, of other for sale properties that have a similar type of use, or maybe they recently sold? These are the other prices that similar types of properties have sold for that you can then compare to this current property that you are considering purchasing. Next question you want to ask is, how much risk is involved with this investment? Now, there are certain ratios that your commercial real estate agent will be able to come up with that will actually tell you and calculate the amount of risk. And these 2 ratios, which I can go into detail more in a separate type of video, are the debt service coverage ratio as well as the rent ratio. But if you're working with an agent, they should be able to come up with these types of calculations, and really any sort of calculation that you'll need to know before you determine whether or not that potential investment is worth the price. Next question is, how many tenants do I need to break even and start generating cash flows? This is another calculation that your commercial real estate agent that you're working with can determine. It's something called a break-even occupancy. And basically it's just because, let's say you're considering the purchase of a multifamily apartment and there are maybe a couple of vacancies in that building. Well, how many vacancies could you have but still either turn a profit or just break even? And again, your commercial real estate agent should be able to come up with that break-even occupancy to determine exactly how many tenants do you need in that space in order to break even and then start generating a profit. Next question is, what type of return will I be seeing from this investment? And how do these numbers compare to other investment opportunities? Again, these are not other calculations that your commercial real estate agent will be able to come up with. These are the cash on cash return, as well as the internal rate of return. Again, these are entire separate types of videos that I could make, and I probably will, because these are some good calculations that you should be able to come up with in order to determine whether a potential investment property is worth the price. Again, your commercial agent that you're working with should be able to come up with the type of return, the value that you'll be seeing if you were to move ahead with that investment property. Next question is, how quickly will I recoup my investment and then start making a profit? Now, this is another calculation that your commercial agent should be able to come up with. It's something called the annualized cash on cash return. Again, I will make a separate video introducing what exactly this calculation is and why it's important. But basically, it will show you at what point and how many years, how long will it take for me to actually make back what I initially invested in and then start turning a profit with the revenues that are coming in from that investment property. Your commercial real estate agent should be able to come up with this number by calculating the annualized cash on cash return. Lastly, the final question that you want to ask your commercial agent when considering an investment property is, what can you see in your mind's eye happening with this property? Let me repeat that, because maybe out of all of these questions, this might be the most important one that you want to ask your commercial real estate agent is, what can you see in your mind's eye happening with this property? In other words, what is this property's highest and best use? In the highest and best version of reality, the reality where I do go ahead and I purchase this investment property, what is the highest and best use that this property would become? And is that highest and best use aligned with what I told you I want to do with this property? Whether I wanted to purchase this multifamily apartment, do some renovations, increase the rents, increase the value of it, and have a good investment property that's continuing to return positive returns year after year. Is that possible with this property? That's what you want to ask your commercial agent, and they should be able to give you their honest opinion. They shouldn't just be in the business of just trying to sell you any sort of property just so that they can get a commission, or that they can just get referrals from you. They actually want to put themselves in your shoes and partner up with you as the investor to determine, well, if I were to move forward with this commercial property investment, is that version of reality the highest and best use of it, the one that I can step into by purchasing this property? So there you go. Those are the 9 questions you want to ask your commercial real estate agent when considering an investment property to purchase. If you have any questions about commercial real estate investing, or if you're looking to schedule a free 15-minute, no obligation phone consultation with a member of my commercial property advisor team to talk more about your commercial real estate challenges and how we might be useful in helping you to solve them, please visit www.jameskkim.commercialrealestate.info. Link for that is in the description. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.